Welcome back, crypto family. This is episode 7. I'm sorry episode 6 got cut off early. It's just my memory wasn't that great on my phone, so it ended, and it was really genuine, so I didn't want to edit it or try to do something to it. But anyways, I hope y'all are doing well. My spirits are real high. My spirits are real high. Today I went to church. God was telling me to go to church today. I was so tired. I didn't even go to bed till 6 o'clock because my spirit's just been boom lately, so I've had a lot on my mind lately. But anyways, I got about 4 hours of sleep and went to church at 10:30. And today when I went to church, man, I could just feel the power of Christ in my body. Personally, when I go to church personally, I've never went to church and just locked in with the pastor the whole time. Just locked in and just it's like my third eye had laser focus the whole time. I've never had it like that. And I grew up in the church. Never once in my life has it ever been like that. When I went into church today, right when I walked in, I could tell. Everybody could feel my spirit when I walked in. So yeah, basically during church, I was just telling them how recently I had a spiritual awakening. I've been fasting for about 7 days. I can't really eat too much right now. I can't eat the old stuff that I used to eat. My body's rejecting it. So right now, all I've been doing is eating bananas and water. But the craziest part about it all is I'm not starving. I'm not even starving. It's my energy inside is so good right now that my body doesn't really need too much. So that's a blessing. But anyways, so church went pretty good, y'all. I ended up, this is not my full testimony because my full testimony is coming soon. But I gave a little testimony in church about my spiritual awakening and things like that, and how I think I'm on the path of becoming a pastor. Because God has really changed a lot in my life recently, and within the last 2 weeks I'm a totally different person in Christ. I've always been this type of person that I am, and I've always been close to God, but this was my second spiritual awakening, and this one was the big one. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, so I got up, I stood up in church, and I gave a little speech. I had my papa pray for me. He's the pastor at my church that I have. At the church that I go to, And also I gave them a speech about crypto because, we're God's people, and I feel wrong if I know the market of these systems coming, aka XRP Ripple, and I don't want people to be enslaved. So I put them on. I was like, hey, there's this thing called XRP. You guys need to look into it. Invest now so that you're not played by the system. And basically, I gave them that speech at church, right? And in front of everybody. And I told them, come up to me if you want to learn more, because this is what God has brought me here to do. But anyways, one of the ladies, she ended up having crypto, and she had 147 XRP. I was so impressed because it's the more people that are in church that have crypto, the more of God's people that can be financially free. I asked her why she didn't have more. She said because the price kept going up and down. I had to break it down to her XRP is going to be $10,000. XRP is going to be $10,000 a coin. Right now, 147 coins, you have $1.47 million, So that's a good thing. But I basically put her on. I was like, okay, get a cold storage wallet once you get a little more. But yeah, you should keep stacking because this is going to help a lot. And I was mentioning to her how once I get this blessing, I'm going to help build my papa's church back up. And the craziest thing about it, she was like, that's the same thing. That's the same reason why I'm stacking crypto. I'm trying to help put money back into the church. So it was really just a beautiful thing, chat, honestly. So my day was amazing, and I made my papa so proud because growing up, my dad always claimed that I was going to be a pastor. When I was young, he was like, Cedric, he's going to be a pastor. And I was just like, I don't know why he thinks that, you know. I don't really understand why he thinks that. Like, my papa was a pastor, but I never really wanted to be a pastor. Like, I always wanted to be just like a fashion designer, rock star, architect, things like that. But I could still be all that. That's the thing. I could still be all that and be a pastor. And that's what I love about it. When I was talking to my papa, he was so happy. Ella, the other pastor, they all prayed for me, right? They all prayed for me. And one of the other pastors was like, right when you walked in the door, I knew you came in here for something. I could tell it in your spirit. You came in here with a purpose. And man, that just felt so good, man. And they were talking to me, they're like, I think it'd be good if you're a pastor because, you know, people relate to how I look. A lot of people can't relate to just like a clean man with no tattoos, clean cut. Like, a lot of people really can't relate to that because they think that those type of people have nothing going for them, or they're just basic, etc., you know. But I was trying to tell them, like, that's just how people see it. Even when I become a pastor, I'm not going to get my tattoos taken away because it's just a part of the process. I want people to really see, like, what I went through and who I am. If anything, I'm going to be that pastor that's like a pop star, fashion designer, crypto millionaire, and a pastor all in one. Like, I can make being a pastor cool. If I could do that and bring more people to God, I'll do it, you know. So, man, that's just how my day went, and it was amazing, chat. So I hope y'all are giving a little time to God, at least in church, if you're not going to church. I don't go to church all the time because, you know, things happen, but I try to, and just the Spirit of God told me I needed to that day, or today, and everything was just perfect. But give me a second, I'm gonna take a bite of this banana no diddy, because I don't know, I'm kind of hungry a little bit. This is fucking good, dude. So good. Bananas and water, you can't beat it. And y'all see, I'm in the minimum. I got a whole pack of bananas for like $1.40 for like 6 of them. So I'm just smacking those down until I need some more, you know. But yeah, this is Tent Life before $10,000 XRP. We're living below our means. We're giving our praise to God, and we're getting our internal soul right. We're getting our eternal self right. We're learning how to love other people, and we're learning how to love ourselves. So excuse me. We're about to pick up where we left off on episode 6. It's actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fun doing these videos for you guys every day, because I get to get you guys closer to loving yourself and closer to God, and reminding you guys to give love to God and talk to God, because there's nothing that he can't do. This whole reality is like a simulation, but God controls it, you feel me? So if you do all you can for God, he's gonna do all he can for you and more. But alright, guys. Alright, crypto family. This is The Mastery of Love, if you're just checking in, by Don Miguel Ruiz. Okay, we're on chapter 7, page 105. It's called The Dream Master. Every relationship in your life can be healed. Every relationship can be wonderful, but it's always going to begin with you. It starts right here. You need to have the courage to use the truth, to talk to yourself with the truth, to be completely honest with yourself. Perhaps you don't have to be honest with the whole world, but you can be honest with yourself. Perhaps you cannot control what is going to happen around you, but you can control your own reactions. Those reactions are going to guide the dream of your life. your personal dream. It's your reactions that make you so unhappy or make you so happy. With this being said, let's say you have negative people in your life and you have positive people in your life. If you're giving your attention to negative people in your life all the time, you're going to be unhappy. So sometimes we just have to take the time to just block those people out, because we know they have nothing good. They have nothing good that can benefit our lives. Try to focus on the positive things. When you wake up in the morning, thank God I'm alive. You feel me? Thank God I'm alive. You're into crypto, you got XRP. Thank God I'm alive. I'm a millionaire already. I just got to continue doing what I'm doing and hold my money. You got to look at it like that. But anyways, it says, your reactions are the key to having a wonderful life. If you can learn to control your own reactions, then you can change your routines and you can change your life. You are responsible for the consequences of whatever you do, think, or say, and feel. Perhaps it's hard for you to see what actions cause the consequence, what emotions, what thoughts, but you can see the consequence because you are suffering the consequence or enjoying the consequence. You control your personal dream by making choices. You have to see if you like the consequences of your choices or not. If it's a consequence you enjoy, then keep doing what you are doing. Perfect. But if you don't like what is happening in your life, if you aren't enjoying your dream, then try to find out what is causing the consequences you don't like. This is the way to transform your dreams. So you got to pay attention to what's going on, pick up on patterns and things like that. If shit's just not going right, you got to switch it up. You can't do the same thing and expect a different result. And I had an issue with that. But things just take time. But anyways, your life is the manifestation of your personal dream. And that's true. If you can transform the program of your personal dream, you can become a dream master. A dream master creates a masterpiece of life. But to master the dream is a big challenge, because humans become slaves of their own dreams, and that's true. You guys got to realize that you can do anything. You just got to believe. And with God on your side, it's so much easier to manifest. I promise you that. So much easier to manifest. The way we learn to dream is a setup. With all the beliefs we have that nothing is possible, it's hard to escape the dream of fear. In order to awake from the dream, you need to master the dream. That is why the Toltecs created the mastery of transformation, to break free of the old dream and to create a new dream where everything is possible, including escaping from the dream. In the mastery of transformation, the Toltecs divide people into dreamers and stalkers. The dreamers know that the dream is an illusion, and they play in that world of illusion, knowing it's an illusion. Me, I'm a dreamer. I know this is an illusion. The only thing real in this world is God. The stalkers are like a tiger or a jaguar, stalking every action and reaction. You have to stalk your own reactions. You have to work with yourself every moment. It takes a lot of time and courage, because it's easier to take things personally and react the way you always react. And that leads you to a lot of mistakes, to a lot of suffering and pain, because your reactions only generate more emotional poison and increase the drama. If you can control your reactions, you will find that soon you are going to see meaning to perceive things as they really are. The mind normally perceives things as they are, but because of all the programming, all the beliefs we have, we make interpretations of what we perceive, of what we hear, and mainly of what we see. There's a big difference between seeing the way people see in the dream and seeing without judgment as it is. The difference is the way your emotional body reacts to what we perceive. For example, if you are walking on the street and someone who doesn't know you says, "You are stupid," and walks away, you can perceive and react to that in many ways. You can accept what the person said and think, "Yes, I must be stupid." You can get mad and feel humiliated or simply ignore it. Me personally, I'd be like, ah, fuck them. Like who are they, you know? Like, how you gonna call me dumb, bro? You don't even know me. And a lot of us really need to stop taking things personal, because a lot of people have their own issues and all they're doing is dishing out their own pain onto other people because they're not happy with themselves. And I had to learn that, because I used to let people get in my head. The truth is that this person is dealing with his own emotional poison, like I just said. And he said that to you because you were the first person to cross his path. It has nothing to do with you. There's nothing personal there. If you can see the truth the way it is, you don't react. And that's like in my comic section, when people are just like talking down, I just like, God bless you, I love you. It's the best thing you can do. You can say, look at that person who is suffering so much, but you don't take it personally. This is just one example, but it applies to almost everything that happens in every moment. We have a little ego that takes everything personally, that makes us overreact. We don't see what is really happening because we react right away and make it part of our own drama. Or we make it part of our own dream. Sorry. These lights are like this red and blue is like a 3D effect and it's throwing me off. Your reaction comes from a belief that is deep inside you. The way you react has been repeated thousands of times and it becomes a routine for you. You are conditioned to be a certain way, and that is the challenge. To change your normal reactions, to change your routine, to take a risk and make different choices. If the consequence is not what you want, change it again and again until you finally get the results you want. You can't let up. You can't settle for less, y'all. We're God's people. We can't settle for less. We can't settle for toxic relationships. We can't settle for friends that don't like us, etc. We can't settle for less. I have said that we never chose to have the parasite, which is the judge, the victim, and the belief system. If we know we didn't have a choice, and we have the awareness that it's nothing but a dream, we recover something very important that we lost, something that religions call free will. Religions say that when humans were created, God gave us free will. This is true, but the dream took it away from us and kept it because the dream controls the will of most humans. There are people who say, I want to change, I really want to change. There is no reason for me to be so poor. I am intelligent. I deserve to live a good life, to earn much more money than I earn. They know this, but that is what their mind is telling them. What do these people do? They go and turn the television on and spend hours and hours watching it. Then how strong is their will? You can't say you don't want to be poor and you got poor practices. You have to put in the work too. You can manifest as much as you want, chat, but if you're not putting in the work, how is God supposed to work with you? It's supposed to be a team thing. You can't just hope someone will do all the work and you just reap all the benefits. It has to be a team thing. Once we have awareness, we have a choice. If we could have the awareness all the time, we could change our routine, change our reactions, and change our entire life, chat. I hope y'all are hearing me. Once we have the awareness, we recover free will. When we recover free will, in any moment, we can choose to remember who we are. Then if we forget, we can choose again. And if we have the awareness, but if we don't have the awareness, we have no choice. Becoming aware is about being responsible for your own life. You are not responsible for what is happening in the world. You are responsible for yourself. You didn't make the world the way it is. The world was already in that way. It is before you were born. You didn't come here with a great mission to save the world, to change society, but surely you come with a big mission and an important mission. The real mission you have in life is to make yourself happy, and that's all that matters. Don't put someone else's happiness before your own happiness. But yeah, the real mission you have in life is to make yourself happy. And in order to be happy, you have to look at what you believe. The way you judge yourself, the way you victimize yourself. Be completely honest about your happiness. Don't project a false sense of happiness by telling everyone, look at me, I'm a success in life. I have everything I want. I'm so happy. When you don't like yourself, you're not doing anything for yourself. You're really not. You're only hurting yourself in the end. Everything is there for us, but first we need to have the courage to open our own eyes, to use the truth, and to see what really is. Humans are so blind that they are blind because they don't want to see. Let's look at an example. A young woman meets a man and she feels a strong attraction for him right away. Her hormones go all the way up and she just wants the man. All her girlfriends can see what this man is. He's on drugs. He's not working. He's got all these traits that make a woman suffer so much. But she sees him, and what does she do? She only sees what she wants to see. She sees that he's tall, he's handsome, he's strong, he's charming. She creates an image of this man and tries to deny what she doesn't want to see. And that's a big problem in a lot of relationships. Like my last relationship, I was telling myself my ex was someone who she really wasn't. I always gave her the benefit of the doubt, but in reality, she wasn't the right person for me, and she just didn't treat me well, and she did not like me because the things that she showed me do not match up with this book, and that was not love. She lies to herself. She really wants to believe that the relationship will work. The girlfriends say, but he's on drugs. He's an alcoholic. He's not working. She says, yes, but my love is going to change him. You can't change somebody, chat. You cannot change somebody. And it took me so long to get this. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all cannot change the person you're with. I get you like see potential and things like that, but look at their actions, not what they say. Of course, her mother hates the man, and the father does too. Her parents are worried about her because they can see where she is going. They say, this is not a good man for you. The young woman says, you are telling me what to do. She goes against mom and goes against dad to follow her hormones, and she lies to herself trying to justify her choices. It's my life, and I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Months later, the relationship brings her back to reality. The truth starts coming out, and she blames the man for what she didn't want to see before. There's no respect. There's a lot of abuse, but now her pride is more important. How can she go back home when mom and dad were right? That will only give them satisfaction. How long will it take for the woman to learn the lesson? How much does she love herself? What is the limit of her self-abuse? All that suffering occurs because we don't want to see. We don't want to see, chat, when it is so clear before our eyes. And I'm guilty of it, so don't feel alone. Even when we meet someone and he tries to pretend to be the best he can, even with the false mask, he cannot avoid presenting the lack of love, the lack of respect he has. But we don't want to see it, and we don't want to hear it. And that's a big issue. We're just gonna just finish this one chapter. I'm just gonna do a chapter every night with y'all, so we can just keep it going. Cause I don't want to overstimulate you guys and make you guys forget what I went over. All right. Anyways, this is why an ancient prophet once said, "There is no worse blind man than the one who doesn't want to see. There is no worse deaf man than the one who doesn't want to hear, and there is no worse madman than the one who doesn't want to understand." Oh my, that's so powerful, and that's true. Why we are so blind, we really are, and we pay for that. But if we open our eyes and see life as it is, we can avoid a lot of emotional pain. It doesn't mean we don't take a risk. We are alive and we need to take a risk. And if we fail, so what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. We learn, we move on without judgment. We do not need to judge. We do not need to blame or feel guilty. We just need to accept our truth and intend a new beginning. If we can see ourselves the way we are, that is the first step towards self-acceptance, towards stopping the self-rejection. Once we are able to accept ourselves just the way we are, everything can start changing from that point forward. And that's true, chat. Once I started seeing what was really going on in my love life, my last relationship, After I got out of that and separated myself and really just took the time to study myself for a second, you know, it took a couple weeks, but I got it down, and I'm so much healthier mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm eating better. I'm smiling all the time. So this is really powerful. Like, you guys should get this book. This has helped me so much. Everyone has a price, and life respects that price, but that price is not measured in dollars or in gold. It is measured in love. More than that, it is measured in self-love. How much you love yourself, that is your price, and life respects the price. When you love yourself, your price is very high, which means your tolerance for self-abuse is very low. It's very low because you respect yourself. You like yourself the way you are, and this makes your price higher. If you don't like things about yourself, the price is a little lower. Sometimes the self-judgment is so strong that people need to numb just to be with themselves. That hit. Talking to numb friend, dude, that shit just hit. Y'all don't want to be numb. I don't want you guys to ever become numb. So that's why I'm reading the book about mastering love to you guys, because I was numb for 5 years. If you don't like a person, you can walk away from that person. If you don't like a group of people, you can walk away from those people. But if you don't like yourself, it doesn't matter where you go. You are right there. To avoid being with yourself, you need to take something to numb you, to take your mind away from yourself. Perhaps some alcohol is going to help. Perhaps some drugs will help. Perhaps eating just to eat. The self-abuse can get much worse. There are people who really feel self-hatred from themselves. They're self-destructive, killing themselves little by little because they don't have the courage to kill themselves fast. If you observe self-destructive people, you will see that they attract people just like them. What do we do if we don't like ourselves? We try to get numb with alcohol to forget about suffering. That's the excuse we use. Where are we going to get alcohol? We go to a bar to drink, and guess who's going to be there? People just like us, who try to avoid themselves also, who also try to get numb. We get numb together, we start talking about our suffering, and we understand each other very well. We even start to enjoy it. We understand each other perfectly because we vibrate in the same frequency. We are both being self-destructive. Then I hurt you, you hurt me, a perfect relationship in hell. What happens when you change? For whatever reason, you will no longer need the alcohol. It's okay now to be with yourself, and you really enjoy it. You no longer need a drink, but you have the same friends, and everyone's drinking. They get numb, they start getting happier, but you can clearly see that their happiness is not real. What they call happiness is a rebellion against their own emotional pain. It's the happiness they are so hurt that they have fun hurting other people and hurting themselves. You no longer fit in, and of course, they resent you because you are no longer like them. Hey, you are rejecting me because you no longer drink with me, because you don't get high with me. Now you have to make a choice. You can step back, or you can go to another level of frequency and meet the people who finally accept themselves like you do. You find there is another realm of reality, a new way of relationships, and you no longer accept certain kinds of abuse. So that's that chapter. That's chapter 7, the Dream Master. So basically, whoever you hang around, that's going to be the frequency you're on, chat. If you're around people that are always drunk, always at the bar, who don't love themselves, you're not going to love yourself. Like, there's nothing around you that's showing you that people are loving themselves. So you're not going to love yourself, chat. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you guys just watch out who you're around and try to just love yourselves. The most powerful thing you can do is love yourself. Once you can love yourself, then you can actually start moving around this world in the way that you want to move. But as long as you just keep just passing up on this book and not trying to figure out how to actually love yourself, you're forever going to be in hell. because you can't get away from yourself. The only way to get away from yourself is killing yourself, and that's not the answer. I used to think that was the answer, but God just didn't let me kill myself. You know, I'm not gonna lie, chat, I've definitely tried to hang myself several times, but that's because I was not in the right frequency. I was around people that were abusing me. I was around people with bad energy, chat, and I did not love myself. Do I feel like that anymore after all of that? No, I don't feel like that. I love myself so much. I really love myself so much. I'm a sweet dude. I'm good looking. I'm into investing. I'm like this with God. I'm a family person, you know. I know how to cook. I'm not here gassing myself up, but I'm just trying to tell y'all, like, love yourself. Fuck with yourself. If nobody fucks with you, fuck with you. But yeah, that's the chapter for today. I hope all of you are staying healthy, being around positive people that love you. And if you feel like nobody loves you, then you might not be around the right people, chat. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here because, I mean, we're gonna be doing this every day until I prove to y'all that XRP hit $10,000. So we got a little while, you know, but so I don't want to give y'all all the sauce in one video. But yeah, I love y'all. Love y'all self. We're all crypto millionaires. Just hold that XRP. Don't let up. You know God brought XRP to you. I don't care what y'all try to say. If God's telling you XRP is going to go to 10K, then it's going to go to 10K. Amen. But anyways, I love y'all. This is Tent Life before $10,000 XRP. And we're out.